Thank you all so much for being here. When I started planning this vigil at 2 a.m. on Tuesday morning, I had no idea it would turn out like this. I did not see myself as a community organizer, just as someone who wanted a way to express my outrage and horror at the way in which a human being at the peak of promise and possibility could be reduced to a pile of body parts on the side of a road. Almost immediately, though, I saw the chord this story struck with everyone, and I knew this would grow to something huge and different. This weekend, we are not 20 people. We are gathering with about 20 other cities around the country to stand up. We are standing up not only for Jorge Stephen, but for all recent members of our community who have been victims of senseless brutality. We stand up for Jason Madison Jr., a 15-year-old gay Baltimore native who was found in a closet raped, gagged, and stabbed to death. We stand for Jaron Martin, a 16-year-old Texan who, after begging for help from 2 school principals and a bus driver, was beaten brutally with a metal pipe as 8 others watched after school. Jaron told the news that the boys warned him, and I quote, "You're not going to be gay anymore." We stand with all of our gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, queer, and questioning peers who have been victimized just for simply being. There are people following me in this program who can and will far more clearly articulate the need for a continued movement and mobilization of our community. I would like to personally thank, first, Carlo, Ronnie, and Stephanie for helping me to take something that was such a small thought in my head, such a sudden bout of passion, and turn it into what you have around you right now. I would also like to personally thank the contingents here representing GLAD, the LGBT Community Center, Dignity, Fierce, Anti-Violence Project, Campaign to Stop the False Arrests, NYU, Alcoa, and other organizations so vital to the continued endurance to our community. I would like to thank the offices of the politicians who have reached out so warmly to us, including Councilwoman Rosie Mendez, Councilwoman Melissa Mark Viverito, Representative Nidia Velasquez, and Speaker Christine Quinn. Anyone else who might be here, the omission in my speech, my personal thank yous are no less a thank you to you for your support. We will thank you in the program, we will thank you afterwards. Thank you all. And most of all, I would just like to thank you all for showing up for something so vital and remembering that your outrage can cause a real movement. We are standing at a vital time in history where the queer rights movement has lost its movement. Why must it take tragedies like these to bring us together in common cause? The starting point of any hate crime is ignorance and prejudice left unchecked. We must all find our inner activists and not only react to tragedy, but work actively to change society so that tragedy can be prevented in the first place. I know that activism and social justice are not necessarily sexy, but the blood of our predecessors and the blood of our peers should not be for nothing. When you see crimes against our people work for justice, when you see laws that subjugate our people worldwide work to change them, when you find a friend not committed to the cause of equality, work to show them the importance of this movement. And please, we must stop the infighting. No one part of our movement can accomplish betterment of humanity alone. We must call for the stop of bickering between gays and lesbians, between blacks and Hispanics, between upper, middle, and lower classes. White gays must unite with those of color. Homosexuals must stop stigmatizing bisexuals. The gay movement must stop leaving behind the trans movement. Do not let us be divided and conquered. Fight for freedom of love, freedom of gender expression, freedom of sexuality for all of us. Go home and create a movement. Create a movement for Jorge Stephen, for Jason Madison Jr., for all the sexual minority children of the world, born and unborn. Thank you all.